It's a field back block, and that's
the guy that rolls his body around.
Mic Drop Sports. Steel City Live.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Mic Drop Sports here on a Tuesday. We are diving in, and we appreciate you for joining us. Make sure you're hitting that like button. Make sure you're hitting that subscribe button. We truly appreciate it. We are going to dive into those tight ends for the Pittsburgh Steelers and what you can expect from them and what have they done in the past, and what are they going to bring to this team in 2025. It's going to be a major key point for this Pittsburgh Steelers team to utilize the tight ends. They, in my eyes, are an underutilized group. However, Arthur Smith is a guy that's known for tight end utilization, and I think in year two of the Arthur Smith experiment, I think we need to see more incorporation, more usage of the tight ends in terms of the pass game and get them involved to create some imbalance for defenses to where they just can't ignore the tight end, to where they really have to pay attention to them in the pass game. In the run game, you have big Darnell Washington. He's out there, and basically defenses know when Darnell's out there, the Steelers are gonna run the football. A guy that we'll just start there with Darnell. A guy that definitely had some injury concerns coming out of college, but however has played in all his games here so far during his young NFL career. So that's encouraging. Darnell Washington, I do have his statistics here. 34 catches, 261 yards, only on one touchdown. This is heading into year three for Big Darnell, a guy that definitely has been versatile inside of the run game. But again, when he's out there, teams know you're not throwing the football 9 times out of 10. You know, it's a situation that creates a very vanilla game plan when he's out there. And I think the Pittsburgh Steelers need to start incorporating again some of these guys, especially a guy like Darnell Washington that has one career touchdown, and that happened in week 2 in Denver. Of the 2024 season, but 34 total games, a guy that's played in all 17 games throughout his years. Both seasons as a Pittsburgh Steeler, played in all 17, both of them. And that's awesome because he did have injury concerns coming out of Georgia, being a bigger body guy, concerned about the knees and things of that nature. But he has been able to be dependable and reliable and available for the Pittsburgh Steelers. But they don't utilize this guy, and he needs to be incorporated, in my eyes, more inside of the 20 to where you can use that big body, to where you can check in and out of run and pass plays and give yourself the versatility of a guy that can catch passes, that can go over those 50-50 balls and be successful there, and just really be a dangerous weapon inside of the 20 for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and give them a red zone offense that is not stale and vanilla, a red zone offense that can do a lot of things. And I think Darnell Washington put in there with Pat Freiermuth gives the Steelers that versatility if they utilize them correctly, utilizing the middle of the field, utilizing Darnell's size. A guy that's 6'7", man. He's a huge guy, 6'7", 264 out of Georgia. Again, heading into year 3 of his NFL career, and really limited production for a guy that many of us had real high hopes for with his body size, with his athleticism. His catch radius is absolutely unreal, but yet the Steelers haven't been able to capitalize on that talent just yet. So moving into 2025, I think Darnell Washington has to be a key focus for the Steelers in terms of utilizing him in the pass game, not just the run game, and using him as an extension of the offensive line. That just can't be their sole purpose with Darnell Washington, because you got to keep teams on their heels and you got to keep them guessing. And if you're not using him inside the pass game, teams are easily identifying what you're doing on those situations when Darnell Washington is the lead tight end. Let's move forward here. We're going to talk about every tight end right now that the Steelers do have in their room that's listed on their roster. We'll go next with a rookie in J.J. Gilbreth, a guy that appeared in 45 games for South Dakota State. A guy 6'4", 240 pounds, 23 years old. Correction, not South Dakota State, South Dakota. But a guy that in 2024 played in 10 games, 22 catches, 469 yards on 4 touchdowns. First team Associated Press All-American, first team All-Conference. But a guy that's going to be real limited in his opportunity. He needs to take advantage of his reps in training camp, needs to take advantage of his reps perhaps in preseason games and show that he has some versatility. He's a guy that's 6'4", 240 pounds. So not a massive guy in terms of the tight end department when you're talking about guys like Darnell Washington, Donald Fram Jr., 6'7", 6'8", respectively. But if you're J.J. Gilbreth, you got to show that you can catch passes, be versatile, get yards after the catch, and be a chain mover. That's what you need to show. And you need to show that you can block inside of the run game, because that's very important for a Pittsburgh Steelers tight end to be very, very useful inside of the run game. That has to be something that is top on their skill set. But again, I think J.J. Gilbreth gives you a little bit of like, oh, well, wait and see. You know, a little bit of a surprise maybe. Maybe he pops up and is really good in his route running and things of that nature. But I don't know enough about J.J. Gilbreth to say whether he's going to make a team or not. But you got to be good on special teams. And again, you got to be able to play really, really well inside of the run game. So we'll see what J.J. Gilbreth can do over the summer into training camp and how this all goes. But definitely he does have some good enough size. I would like a little bit more height on him. But he's big enough to play the position, and we'll see what comes out of J.J. Gilbreth in 2025, and maybe he can make some sort of noise when it comes to these practice sessions and things. Let's keep moving on. Let's move to guys that are a little bit more important. We'll save Pat Freiermuth for the last one, but we'll move on to let's move on to Donald Fram Jr., 6'8", 237 pounds. Donald Fram, though, 47 total games in the NFL, started 23 games, 67 catches, 764 yards, 11 touchdowns. Rookie year in 2020, so basically heading into year 5 here for Donald Fram Jr., 3 touchdowns, 10 catches, 159 yards in his rookie campaign. This was a depth piece move by the Pittsburgh Steelers. I know a lot of people were excited about the possibilities that maybe Donald Fram could do some things inside of the pass game. You like the size, you like the ability maybe for 50-50 balls, but it makes you wonder, all those years with a really a decent quarterback in Justin Herbert, a guy that throws the ball all over the place. You wonder why the limit of production is there. You ask yourself a lot of questions. So he's another guy that we're going to have to watch over the summer. We're going to have to watch in the mini camps and things like that. Is he able to play special teams? Because when you're farther down on the depth chart, you got to be able to play special teams as a tight end. So that's something that has to be in his repertoire. But you like the size, you like the intangibles, and perhaps teaming him up with Pat Freiermuth and Darnell Washington in 3 tight end sets. That's a lot of size out there. Pat's still 6'5", 258, so and an excellent pass catcher. So you add those 3 guys together, and I know 2 of them have very limited production inside of their NFL career, but maybe perhaps making them a trio, maybe that's really exciting for the Steelers. Could potentially really give them some real weapons inside of a 3 tight end set. So Donald Fram, depth piece move, but you know, there are some things that you can like about him, but you've just not got to see it just yet inside of his NFL career. So that could be a little bit concerning, and then you could hope on the other end of that the Pittsburgh Steelers maybe could tap into that with his intangibles in terms of his size and things of that nature. So the Steelers looking good in the size department here with the tight ends. Let's move over to Connor Hayward, a guy that made the team as a fullback last year, a guy that plays a lot of special teams, and that's what keeps him around, guys, to be honest. It's not his on-the-field play. I really had high hopes for him. I thought he was going to be able to be that H-back type role, that Dallas Clark type role, only 6 foot tall, 230 pounds out of Michigan State. Just very minimal production, guys. He's played in 51 games, 41 career catches, 358 yards, 2 touchdowns heading into year 4. In 2024, though, guys, he had really low numbers, only 40 yards, 6 catches on 40 yards for 1 touchdown. That was very low production, and I know the Steelers didn't utilize the tight ends in terms of the pass game very often, and I know the opportunities were very few and far between. They never utilized the middle of the field, and I understand that. But Connor Hayward, again, man, just hanging on by the skin of his teeth because he plays a lot of special teams. Other than that, he really has no real true value. Listed as a tight end fullback, I really wanted to see him succeed because I thought he was going to be versatile in that pass game, but I've yet to see that production. I've yet to see that usage, but you've kind of got washed out of that tight end room, and he's kind of like that fullback, and there's very limited opportunities for that. And in terms of a fullback, he doesn't have that size that you would want with a fullback, a lead type blocker. So you ask yourself, what are the Steelers going to do? I think Connor Hayward's more on his way out than he is on his way in. I think he got 1 foot out the door here. I think it's going to be very difficult with the way the tight end room's set up, with the limited usage of fullbacks. It's going to be really, really tough for him to continue to make this team year after year and be part of this ball club due to his lack of versatility in my eyes right now. Unless he comes out and really becomes versatile, really becomes a real dangerous weapon inside of the Pats game, I just don't see how he sticks around too much longer. And I believe his brother has had a lot into that, maybe being the reason that he's stuck around for as long as he has. I'm not saying he's a slouch because I think he's a ball player, but man, he's really got to start being more productive. And yeah, maybe you blame the quarterback situation or the offensive situation. Maybe you blame that as the reason for the limited production with Connor Hayward. But man, he's got to figure it out here and get more involved some way, somehow for your Pittsburgh Steelers. Let's move on, though. Now, we're rounding this tight end room out now with the star, the guy that got paid, a bag, Pat Freiermuth, number 88 in your program, 6'5", 258 pounds. Pat has 5 years experience now, heading into year 5 here. 26 years old, out of Penn State in 2024, 65 catches, 653 yards on 7 touchdowns. That's fair production out of your tight end spot, but you would like to see a hell of a lot more. You want to see them using that tight end a hell of a lot more, and Pat Freiermuth is a viable option inside of the pass game. 7 touchdowns, you'd like to see that increase a little bit more and utilize the middle of the field, especially inside of the 20s. You really want to take advantage of those tight ends. I keep saying that. But total in career, he's had some concussion issues, some injury issues, 61 games played, 220 catches for 2,190 yards, 18 touchdowns. I like that. 2022 being his highest yardage and catch year. Low TDs, only having 2 TDs in 2022, but 16 games played, 63 catches for 732 yards. When he was playing with Ben Roethlisberger, you started to see some of those flashes that you thought you really liked about him. And yeah, we're excited. And I still feel like there could be that excitement, and I think that's why the Steelers paid him, but they gotta take advantage of having him out on the football field a hell of a lot more. But Pat Freiermuth has struggled in the past with his pass blocking. That's why you've seen a lot more of Darnell Washington in those situations. But again, that's a clear telegraph and a clear sign to the defense that you're running or you're passing. You gotta have those guys have every little tool in their toolbox. You can't just telegraph what you're doing by the personnel you have in the ball game. It doesn't bode well for the Pittsburgh Steelers. But if you look at Pat Freiermuth, you say to yourself, damn, this guy can get it done. But it always reverting back to this lack of usage, man. They're out there. The tight ends are out there, guys. They're out there on the field. Arthur Smith comes out in heavy tight end sets a lot. 12, 13 personnel sets a ton. But yet, they're not involved like you would like them to be when you're utilizing the tight end the way they are in the offensive scheme. So when the schematics push toward the tight end, you got to take advantage of them. And again, Pat needs to brush up that run blocking and create a little bit of another layer for him. But the Steelers, man, definitely have to take advantage of this group because I think it's a big group, a gifted group athletically for their size. And I think the Steelers, when they brought in a guy like Donald Fram, said to themselves, look, man, we combine a Pat Freiermuth, Donald Fram, and Darnell Washington in 3 tight end sets. We may have some lightning in a bottle here. It may really be able to help who plays quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers in 2025. And it may be a weapon that people are overlooking. And that's why I really wanted to talk about this tight end room today. It may be a key to this offense in 2025 that many people and other teams are overlooking because of the lack of production in that room. But if you look at it as a whole, I say to myself, I think it could be something, but we got to untap that potential there. We got to start bringing that potential out and putting it into reality, into actual production. So I think it's exciting. I think it's something that Steeler fans should really look forward to in 2025 because I think that there is an untapped potential there with this tight end room that could really break open and become a real fantastic weapon for your Steelers. And whoever plays quarterback, if it's Will Howard, if it's Mason Rudolph, even Aaron Rodgers, I think all 3 of those guys play the type of game at the quarterback position that they will really take advantage of these guys and really try to get them involved, try to get the ball over the middle. We don't have any of those shorter guys anymore, or, I feel like the middle of the field, definitely with the quarterback size increasing, I think will be definitely something they utilize. I think Aaron Rodgers definitely loves the middle of the field at times. Will definitely utilize those tight ends and really put defenses off balance. And I think that's what you're aiming for all the time, And I think the Steelers have a valuable tool here to be able to create those mismatches, create that imbalance on defense, and really keep them guessing. So 2025, it may be the year of the tight end. It may be the year of the tight end and the running back for the Pittsburgh Steelers, really. And you look at this and there's question marks. There's question marks when you look at this offense. The quarterback position being the biggest one, the offensive line depth being another one. But how do you fix and cure some of those deficiencies? Maybe you have average quarterback play. So how do you fix that? With that tight end room, allowing them to be the easy outlet, allowing them to be the chain movers, allowing those guys to bail you out of trouble a lot of times. How do you fix an offensive line that may be a little bit rough at the beginning and has to grow into themselves a little bit in terms of being a cohesive group? How do you fix that? You take that run game and you allow them to be successful, but you utilize that tight end room for quick hitters, quick chain movers, confidence builders for that offensive line, and not make them have to block out there on islands by themselves for many seconds while your play's developing downfield. You get that tight end room involved early. And I think that helps your offensive line. I think that helps your run game, and it helps your quarterbacks tremendously. So tight ends are going to be valuable this year, man. And if the Steelers can tap into that potential, they might strike lightning in a bottle here and be really, really good in 2025, especially. So we're going to talk about the tight ends more tonight on Steel City Live. Join us at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time live here on Mike Drop Sports. I'll be your host as always. Thank you so much for all the love that you've been showing on the live shows. So let's make sure we share this show, like it up as much as you can, and create that buzz here surrounding Mike Drop Sports. So until tonight, guys, I'm Jason. Peace, my friends.
Power takes an approach as a coach. Let's go. It's a field back block, and that's